let me just go on record here. Like when this race started, I was feeling this strange like anti CJ sentiment from people, and like which was very confusing to me, right? Like I don't know why there was any like there's this like disdain for people going out hot. Like honestly, the dude still finished. If he finished the way he did, and like he ended up what top 10, almost top 10,
Mm-hmm.
we would be like cheering and rooting for him, like even if he wasn't leading, right? So like let's say that CJ wasn't in our screens the entire race, but we found out
Yeah.
afterwards that he finished top 11, we'd be like, wow, CJ Albertson, amazing, good for him. But there's this weird like woulda coulda shoulda sentiment that I was seeing
Yeah. Yeah.
online a little bit, and overall I loved it. I loved it. The dude hammered, he felt good, and like there's a scenario where like he could have won this race, maybe, but honestly, I applaud him for being gutsy and bold, and like that is exactly what I was hoping to see on the day. It was brutal, it was beautiful, it was refreshing to see, and I applaud him for taking a shot.
Well, I don't think he could have won it, but I think he could have probably finished higher. But you're right. Who cares?
There,
He made it entertaining. His race was 6 races in one. He goes out, Alex, 14:29 for the first 5K, builds up a
I
two
love it.
minute lead. Then we were texting throughout the race because usually when you have a group that's chasing one person, eventually they start to thin out themselves. The chase pack starts to thin out themselves because they're pressing the gas pedal down. But that wasn't the case. There were still 15 guys right there. So I texted you. I said, what's the quickest someone's ever moved from first to 16th place after the 30K mark in a marathon? Because I think CJ Albertson's about to make history. But then he gets past, but then he still hangs on. He hangs on, and you're right, a respectable race. Not doesn't finish as the top American. Colin Benny gets that honor. Solid run from him. But Albertson, gave this race something to watch in the first half. You know, when you have someone like Benson Kipruto who drops a 4:29 and a 4:25 back to back on his way to a 14:06 5K, there's not much you can do with that. But CJ
No,
gave it a whirl. Gave it a whirl. He gave it his best. He gave it his best shot out there. Did he overcook it a bit? Yeah, but it's not as if he completely cratered and then DNF'd because he had every reason to. Getting passed by that many people with still that much time left.
yeah, he absolutely could have stepped off the course, and I wouldn't have been like I think there was probably some people who thought he might, but he did. I mean, he responded twice. Twice he was in the hurt
Mm.
locker, got gapped hard, responded, and then came back. And even in the home stretch, like was still pressing on the gas a little bit. So kudos to CJ Albertson. He takes a different path, right? He's a little
Mm-hmm.
off the radar. He's not part of some sexy brand group, right? He's just like throwing down bizarre workouts. If you haven't looked at his Strava, please do. It's all over the place. It's extremely entertaining. He's posting like training videos of him like doing treadmill runs on Peloton. I think all the Peloton trainers that get their weird thumbnail avatar posted on Strava should pay it back to CJ today, and they should post pictures of him. He deserved it.
Yeah, he's an online favorite, I think. And listen, he's the indoor marathon world record holder. He's the 50K world record holder. He's the treadmill world record holder, 209 on a treadmill. He was going to try something out of the box because everything he does is a bit out of the box. I think you got to ask yourself, hey, if I'm going to finish anywhere from the 6th to 15th spot, why not just go for it? Why not just go for it? If I'm going to finish in
Right.
this range, why not just try to mix it up? And I think his thought was, hey, maybe I can catch this group napping, right? They don't respect me because I'm so under the radar. Maybe I can get a little bit of an advantage off that. Now, was the first 5K a bit too hot? And maybe if he went out fast, but not that fast, would there have been more left at the end? Perhaps, and maybe he could have been the top American. But again, I don't think he's going to beat Kipruto, regardless of what he does. So this was him taking a big swing. What did you think of the pack's response or lack of response to him for as long as they did?
I mean, honestly, I think there was moments where I was like, dude, they're gonna leave this too late. I mean,
Hmm.
the gap was so big where it was like, and I think I'll give props to David Monty. He tweeted out like there was a moment where it was like they would have to run like 10 seconds faster than him for the next 6 miles to catch him or something like it was like
Yeah.
something crazy. Like for a second, it was like, wait, the math is starting to work against these guys. And they legitimately almost left it too late. I wondered, and I even texted you. I'm like, what are they waiting for? Somebody's got
Yeah.
to go soon. And even when they did catch him, I was actually surprised how like they caught him, but then I was like really waiting for somebody to put the gas on right there. Right when they kind of got over Heartbreak Hill, I was waiting
Yeah.
for a bigger move to be made. Like you said, there was still like 16 guys there. So yeah, I mean, like they really weren't that aggressive. And there was a moment where, if you were doing the math, like there was a world in which he would have put too much gap on those guys early in the race. But that being said, like CJ, like once he got to that 5K mark, or maybe it was even the 2 mile mark, he was probably in a place where it was like, look, like, what do you do in that moment? You have such a
Yeah.
gap,
Yeah.
and it's either like
Yeah.
you push your poker chips in, right, and go all
Yeah.
in. But it's like, what is he going to do? Shut it down and run like a 6 minute mile, like 2 6 minute miles, and then get eaten up, and then run the rest of the race with them, or do you
Yeah.
just like, yeah, again, go all in? And he went all in, and I appreciate him for it. And he'll go down in running lore
Yeah.
boards for a while. So props to him.